to City Hall. Welcome home, everybody. This is our first meeting in the new assembly room, and since the Board of Works has been an important component of this project, we held that for you, and the City Council will be in there this evening, and then we'll have some of our other boards throughout the upcoming month. So with that, welcome home, everybody. If you please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today is Monday, October 4th, 2021, the time being 5 p.m. The Greensburg City Board of Works is called to order at this time. Please silence all electronic devices. To comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is on a table in the back of the room. Board of Works members, your microphones will turn on automatically when you start speaking. They will light up red, so be sure that that is happening as you're speaking. To the audience members, we are working on some of the feedback stuff still, so we're still trying to program out the system and have a few more pieces to add, so we'll try to get that smoothed out a little bit as well. Amy, would you please call the roll?
Yes, Janie Kane.
Here.
Rodney King.
Here.
Karen Rust. Here. And Glenn Teddy.
Okay, you all should have received a copy of the minutes for September 7th, 2021. Any edits, additions, or corrections to those? If not, we'll take a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Rodney, seconded by Dee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. You have minutes for the executive session, September 28th, 2021. Any edits, additions, or corrections? If not, we'll take a motion to approve those as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Dee, seconded by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed. There being no old business, we'll move directly to new business. Deena Hamer with the Decatur County YMCA has requested road closures for the Tree City Run. I don't see her with us this evening. Did anybody know if she would? Kristen, was she coming? Assume she was.
Don't say her, she was.
I told her what time and she said she would be here.
You all should have a copy of that, I think on the desk as well. If we want to just table that until later in the evening in case she does come, or do we want to vote on approval of it? We have questions for her.
I have a question for the chief. You've seen this?
I have.
We're going to start anew. Can you please come up to the mic? We're going to really start hammering that.
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. Was there any place on there where we were crossing a state highway?
Looks like 421, right?
I've not seen a map. I just had a request from her.
Well, I have a concern if we're crossing 421, whether we have state approval to do that.
Looked like North Street, it was going across North Street, or maybe might be wrong, but I thought on North Street it went across 421 right there.
If you have a map, I'd be happy to look at it.
Here, I got it in there.
That was, I believe it's the same route as they used last year, which did include crossing 421. There didn't seem, there she is right there.
Hello.
Hello, come on in, you're up. Just walk on up to the microphone here. We've got a couple questions for you. Welcome to the meeting.
Hi.
Rodney King had a question about,
The question I have, does the route that you're running and walking, does it cross a state highway?
I'm gonna say yes, we crossed 421 and we crossed Lincoln Street, so we have police support that,
Do we have permission from the state?
no. I mean, this is all new, I'm taking this over this year.
I understand. Am I correct?
I have foggiest. I have no idea. I mean, the legal answer is I'd be happy to look it up. I don't know if there's a prohibition against crossing a state road with or closure. I presume that there is some type of regulation requiring closure, but if there's police involvement, then it should be okay. It'd be no different than if you were to close it for a funeral procession.
Okay.
and I don't think we really closed it last year. It's more of like an assisted crossing.
Yes,
Is that fair to say?
yes.
I'm fine with that response. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you guys need, do you have a copy of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any other concerns? How many participants did you have last year?
I want to say around 72, so it's fairly small. Hopefully we'll grow a little bit this year.
And start time?
10 a.m.,
What's the date, please?
November the 20th.
And how long do you expect it to last?
We were asking for police support from about 9:45 till about 11:30.
And will they be posted at any intersections?
The police support that we're asking for is at North Ireland and Washington Street, which I believe that's, considered Michigan Avenue, where it turns into I think it turns into North Ireland.
Yeah, that would be the State Highway 421.
Yes, and so police support there, and then also at Washington and Lincoln Street.
City streets.
Yeah, both of those being city streets. Okay.
And then I'm also hoping that the bridge will be finished, hopefully.
I'm saying.
It's going to be. That's a county project, but it doesn't have an expected target date until.
I talked to Highway Department, Mark Moore, and he seemed to think it was supposed to be done by the 1st of November.
Okay, well, that'd be
So
good.
it's gonna- Yeah,
That'd be good. Okay.
yeah.
Any other questions?
Will the rest of the route be clearly marked for
Yeah.
both the people participating and drivers?
Well, we lightly spray paint, and then we have volunteers at turns, and a few signs placed around as well. And that's how we mark the route.
Actually, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. I was going to mention that to you. So last year, the spray paint lasted well beyond the end of the event. Do you think you could use some type of washable paint, like the Fall Festival? They label their spots, and then it washes off in the first couple rains. So it's not a real.
I can look for, yeah.
You should be able to get like chalk spray paint, basically, where it's in a spray paint can, but it's chalk,
Okay,
like you would spray your yard for something.
okay.
I think we would request that you do that instead of painting the roads, because it lasted. It might still be out there actually.
Uh-huh,
So, yeah,
okay,
that would be our request.
okay.
Any other questions? If not, we take a motion to approve the road closures with some police assistance. Mike, anything else? Any other concerns? November 20th, starting around 9:45 in the morning, running till about noon.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Rodney, seconded by Dee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Next up, Police Chief Mike McNealy for new hire.
Good evening, Board. Thanks for your time tonight. Thank you for your time last week with the executive meeting as well. Tonight I wanted to present to you two names for hire. One to hire immediately upon perf approval, and that would be applicant number 1 from our executive meeting. And then to go ahead and approve hiring of number 2 pending the approval of the budget with the council to start January 1, or as Jamie mentioned, if we can get him started before January 1 from missing pay from the employee who left, and that would be applicant number 2.
Interviewee number 3. Yeah. So,
Yes, I'm sorry.
any questions for the chief on that?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Jamie. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, Chief Stoermer isn't with us this evening. Assistant Chief David Rozelle is here in his place for a request of disposal of surplus equipment. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. About yourself?
Good.
So basically, we're requesting to take sealed bids for a ladder truck, to start taking sealed bids for it.
That would be the 1992 aerial Cat 102 platform, correct?
Yes.
Just to kind of clarify, I don't know, this has come out in the budget discussions for the council. I think the council's aware that we're going to be doing this. They actually, I don't know that we had a formal vote, but basically approved doing the closed bid process on this truck at our last budget session. So just kind of bringing that up so the council's aware of it.
And we do not have to accept any of the bids, given we have the right to reject all of them should something change over the next 30 days or however long we're gonna put it out for. Any other questions?
I'm just curious, do those bids come from all over the states, or is it more local?
Anybody that's interested to submit one is eligible to do it, so
I'm just curious.
or tell them where they're coming from.
Is it posted on like a Craigslist of fire equipment or something?
It'll be advertised. I'm not sure how they're gonna advertise it at this point, but it'll be advertised somehow, and then whoever's interested is eligible to submit a bid.
There is a website for fire and the state of Indiana is a part of that overall network, so I would anticipate that it would be posted there, which is it's part of their collective purchasing power, that it gives them the ability to post it on a more national basis. And I think in the years past we've bought, in Washington Township, one of the trucks they bought was from like Oklahoma or something like that. So that's generally how I believe it is to be posted.
I was just curious if it would be nationwide, like that kind of listing, or if we've asked local, like some of the surrounding departments if they're in need of such a vehicle.
I think it will be posted.
Yeah, it'll be posted on however they're gonna advertise it. It'll be open to where anybody around will be able to submit the bid.
Any other questions? If not, we'd take a motion to approve the collection of sealed bids for the 1992 aerial 102 platform.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Rodney, seconded by Jamie. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Up next, we have Wastewater Superintendent Jeff Smith, engineering proposal for replacing a UV system. This is Jeff's last official meeting with us.
Yes.
Hopefully he will join us next month for the retirement ceremony, but this is the last one.
Then I'll be here, Mayor.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna propose, I've brought this up a couple times before, our UV system is going to have to be replaced. As of the middle of next year, certain parts will no longer be available, and we'll manufacture them. If they fail, then the unit itself is going to start to fail. We have bought some replacement parts, kind of been stocking them up, and I'll get with my predecessor, and he'll stock up some more. But you should have received a copy of a proposal from Strand. They're going to evaluate what we have. Now they said it was built in 2008. That's when it was upgraded last. It was actually installed in 2000. Last major upgrade to it was in 2008. So it's got 21 years on it. So they'll look at that, electrical, and see what we can do, what needs to go in there. And the cost of that is $18,700. And I would like an approval to go ahead and get them started.
What's the approximate cost of the unit? I'm not just kind of.
I budgeted $1 million for the whole thing. As I say, time they put it, the unit itself is going to be about $500,000, and depending on what they have to do to the channel that it sits in, that may be another $300,000-400,000. If they got to start removing concrete and widen the channel or narrow the channel, because it sits in a channel, the water flows through it, and then it goes on out. So depending on what they gotta do that to make it fit. Kind of expensive.
That was gonna be my question, it was, because it said 2008, so I didn't know what the life expectancy was, so.
Well, I guess Trojan decided that was the life expectancy on them because they're going to manufacturing parts.
That upgrade is in our current wastewater proposed rate
Yes,
study
yes,
for next year.
yes.
So it's an expense that has been accounted for. Any other questions for Jeff? Strand obviously does a ton of work with us at your facility, so they are very familiar with that. I would take a motion to approve the agreement with Strand Engineering for $18,700 to look at replacing the UV system.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Rodney. Is there a second? Seconded by Dee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thank you.
We have a couple things. I've put in front of you a agreement with Empire Electric for the addition of some electrical work in the building here. We can pay for these out of building funds. It is for $5,450 to do that. I would like to go ahead and get them started on that outside of our building contract. It's some things we've discovered since we've been here. If there are any questions, happy to answer those. If not, we take a motion to approve the contract with Empire Electric to do that at $5,450.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Jamie, seconded by Dee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you very much. Up next, we have the READI Grant update. So just a quick sort of update on that. We have submitted it to the state. It was due on the 30th. That has been received. We've received knowledge of receipt of that, and now we will wait for further instructions. It was a very long, tedious process that Brian Robbins and I, Deena Burkhart from the County Council, and then Commissioner Mark Kors was involved some to help put that together, along with our consultant HWC and our neighboring partners, Rushville, Rush County, Shelbyville, Shelby County, the City of Batesville, and of course Greensburg, Decatur County. So we've gotten that submitted, but now we just wait on the state from that as well. We have a request that we schedule a special Board of Works meeting. This would be noon, October 21st. That's a Thursday. The purpose would be to discuss the handbook policies that we've been discussing as part of our subcommittee, which includes Dr. King as a representative of this board. Does that day and time work for everyone? Okay. That is a special Board Works meeting, not an executive session. The request for the executive session on the agenda is canceled. We no longer need to do that. Two big notes to sort of say here at the end before we get to the claims. We've been out and about in the community a lot over the last couple months really, doing comprehensive plan work and other public engagement sessions, and I wanted to take a moment, recognize department heads and all of our city employees that have received high remarks. Over the last couple months, there's been a lot of really good support for the work that's being done by our departments, some specific instances and some more in general, so I think that that's always important to bring up, as they're the front lines, the face of the organization to the community. So I want to share that with the board, and also thank you for all the good work that you all continue to do. And the final thing, we have a little bit of an update. We are joined this evening. Zeke Smith is going to be our new wastewater superintendent after Jeff's retirement at the end of the month. So we're incredibly happy to have him and his decades-long knowledge in this field. So be sure to say hello to him. Zeke, welcome aboard. Today's his first day on the job, so he's going to spend the next month shadowing and working with Jeff. And we already had him drug into a meeting this morning. So I think all he's missing now is a branded polo, and he'll be ready to go. Anything else for the board before we do claims?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for Mr. May. Mr. May, can you give me an update in regards to the work that we are expecting from Duke and Frontier? Have they made any moves to fix the issues we have?
I am happy to be able to report to you that Frontier Communications was on site Friday, I believe, and got their work completed. Duke was also on site Friday. They got a little bit later start than we had hoped for Friday. They were to have been back out there today, and to my knowledge, they did return today. And the plan originally was that they would cut the power over to the new installation tomorrow morning first thing, and I didn't get out there this afternoon to confirm. There was a chance if their day went well, they would have gotten that power cut over yet today, and they would be out of our way. We are, to my knowledge, still on schedule to have the road open up in the latter part of October. The ribbon cutting ceremony continues to be a real possibility that it can occur on that date.
If by chance there would be another delay, if we move to the date of, if we move to the last week of October and the work is not completed, would you kindly extend an invitation to the gentleman from Duke to attend our meeting and explain to us why he is being so calcitrant in regards to meeting our needs?
I can convey the invitation for sure. I am reasonably optimistic that they are either currently or by tomorrow morning going to be out of the way.
That would be wonderful.
But until I know they're out of the way, I don't know they're out of the way.
Right. Thank you.
Ron and I have also met with Duke a few weeks ago and sort of talked through how we arrived at the issue we were having with on the Veterans Way project, and we're satisfied with their attentiveness and answer. Doesn't change the fact that days are delays, but they've been much better since.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? If you all should have received a copy of your claims for the month. If there are no tweaks to those, we take approval of those as presented.
I'm sorry.
Second.
Motion's been made by Dee, seconded by Jamie. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Anything else for the good of the board? If not, I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Rodney. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, everyone. We'll see you noon on October 21st.